Hello everyone and welcome to a very strange episode of Live as Nasty with me, Natalie Sherlock. So Mum has already begun cutting my hair but unfortunately my because I'm trying to learn German and I've got this app that comes up with questions for me at random intervals, and it came up and it stopped the filming, so apologies for that. So Mum is currently cutting my hair, and because I wanted it shorter, and I thought I would document this
historic occasion.
Yes, because it could go terribly wrong, or it could be really like a stunning transformation, so who knows, it could go either way. This is Mother we're talking about, so I thought I'd bring you along for the ride, seeing if you might be a bit bored due to this lockdown and maybe a bit feeling a bit down. I thought I would let my mother cut my hair and bring you along for the ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. So whilst I am having my hair cut, I might as well talk to you, because otherwise it's going to be quite boring and be similar to watching paint dry. So maybe I can have a discussion with Mother whilst she's cutting my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mother has appeared in my videos before and they have all been very popular for some inexplicable reason.
Thank you.
So just let's have a conversation.
Yes, definitely.
I said I did a Get Britain Get Talking video,
Uh-huh.
and I've expressed the importance of talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to practice what I preach and actually have a conversation with you whilst on camera.
Yeah.
So what shall we say?
Anything you like.
I mean, I'd rather not talk about the current situation, because I think we all need a break from that.
Exactly.
And that is why I'm filming this video. So no coronavirus discussions. So I think maybe I should quiz you on how much you know about me, or rather my Asperger's and stuff like that. So first of all, tell me what you've learned over the years from being my mother about autism and Asperger's.
Well, first thing I noticed, you're highly intelligent.
Yeah.
People used to stop me in the street when you were 6 and say how knowledgeable you are.
Really?
Of all the things that you said. Things that you picked up on television.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
And things like that. And you used to relay it.
Yeah.
To people in an accurate manner.
An accurate manner, like that.
And you also had, because you were brought up with older parents.
Yeah. Well, grandparents.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
You have different language.
Yeah, and I got bullied for that a lot. That was most of the where the bullying came from, because people used to say I spoke in World War II. Like, what? I mean, they didn't actually realise how stupid that made them sound. So, I mean, it's laughable. And they used to sort of, be laughing in the corner of the room, and I'd come over, and I'd be like, so what are you laughing at? And they'd be like, oh, I was laughing at a joke. And then they'd be like, I said, okay, tell me the joke, what was it? And then they'd say, oh, I can't remember. Well, you're clearly lying, because, you've obviously, if you had just told a joke, then you would be able to remember what it was, because it was 5 seconds ago. So they were obviously laughing at me, but they used to engage me in conversation, just to sort of, you know, I don't know, get a laugh. But, you know, I think I make people laugh anyway. Like, I have a natural gift for making people laugh. I don't want to blow my own trumpet, of course, but you know, I like everyone that I meet. They seem to like ask me, you know, or say that I'm funny, or that I should have my own show, or whatever it might be. So when we move to Scotland, I'm going to make sure that I start making people laugh properly. And also, I mean, of course, it's very difficult because I hear, like, obviously I can't pass judgments, but loads of comedians, like nearly all the comedians, say that Scotland is the hardest to crack in terms of comedy, because apparently they have very high standards when it comes to comedy.
Right, don't move your head.
Okay.
Keep it still while you're talking.
It's going to be interesting, like, so I can't wait for that. Oh, and also I've decided to form a choir when I get up to Scotland, of course. So it's going to be called the Choose Life Choir. Well, that is what I'm preliminarily naming it. I haven't quite, obviously, when I get to Scotland, I want to get the people that are also going to be in it to name it as well. I'm going to make sure that they are at least happy with the name, if they can't think of another name. So the Choose Life Choir is actually going to consist of like all the people that have been, anyone that's been touched by suicide at all. And it's going to sort of double up as a support group, really, because we can sing with each other, but also we can like talk to each other and discuss, like, tell each other about our beautiful loved ones that are now no longer with us, and our dream obviously would go on BGT, and not, I mean, you know, obviously it would be great to get through, and also it would be super fantastic to win, but even if we didn't, because it's very high standards, you know, BGT, even if we didn't, just to get on there would be amazing, because it would raise awareness, and our aim would be to have an album so that we can raise money for Mind and like other, like, suicide prevention charities or support charities, so that people also, like, so obviously to prevent it, but also the support for the families of the people that have done it, the families that have been touched by it as well. So that will be exciting. And like I said, I'm doing the Get to Work project. I did a thinking hat plan, which is a business strategy where so there's 6 different coloured hats, and and each hat represents a different excuse me, just a tickle. In case you're worried. Each hat represents different things. So, like, green is green is like solutions, yellow is good things, white is facts, black is negative things, red is feelings, blue is just like thinking about thinking and the process, and stuff like that. So I did one of those and I found out that there are 1 million disabled people in Scotland, so I've got a lot to get through. So I'm really excited about that. And I did one for my my invention as well, so that's going to be good. And yeah, so
Because the hairdryer is plugged into the wall, can you come backwards a little bit?
oh, okay. I mean, instructed to go backwards a bit.
Yeah, just moving a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking good. I'll do your fringe in a minute.
Yeah.
It's not overly short, it's just perfect.
Is it even?
Yes.
That's good. I think my hairdresser would probably be,
Well, she can fix it for you when
yeah. When the lockdown's over,
the lockdown's over, yeah.
she can fix it for me.
But it doesn't look bad.
Yes.
What else did you want to say?
So yeah, let's continue talking about what you've learned.
It hasn't been an easy ride at times because some athletes have multiple personalities.
Well, I do. I mean, like, I don't know how common that comorbidity is, but you know, I have multiple personalities, so. But like I say, it's like, you know, I see it as like, it's like Ben 10. Although Ben 10 did get to choose who he turned into at any given time, but with me that not so much. But you know, I like some of them are like really helpful. Like I have one that's really confident, and one that's really intelligent, and one that's brilliant at painting. So you know, like. It's not all bad.
No.
Obviously, I have the darker ones, but the violent ones and the ones that are like depressive and stuff like that. But yeah, and I'll be quiet for a minute whilst the hairdryer is going on. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'll lower it. I'll make it lower this time.
Yeah. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me in this video. I hope the sound of the hairdryer doesn't drown out my voice. Although I am quite far away from the camera, so yeah.
And what do you think about your mum being a medium?
Oh, Mum, I haven't mentioned that.
Oh, I thought we were talking.
I know, but we are. We don't have to mention that. People might be watching that don't like that sort of thing. So, whilst this lockdown is on, obviously we can't meet up with those we love, so but we can still talk to them on the phone and on FaceTime and this brilliant app called Zoom that everyone's been talking about. I use it to keep have chatterbox sessions. So we are still having chatterbox meetings, but they are from the comfort of our own homes, which is brilliant. Like,
I think that's a really good idea, actually.
yeah, maybe make that a bit shorter.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to sort out your fringe now.
Yeah.
I'll do a little bit more.
I'm all prickly now.
I know.
I'm really all prickly. I said to put the robe over me.
I know.
A lot of now that's a good point to mention. Sensory issues.
Yeah.
So a lot of people with autism, me included, have sensory issues, particularly loud noises and like textures, because loud noises, like my ears are really sensitive, and I've told you this story before that that when I was at school, they used to go up behind me and shout in my ear to scare, because it would scare me, and they'd get a reaction. They thought it was hilarious. So to all of you people out there that found it funny to physically torture an Aspie, shame on you, and you know, I hope you understand how horrible it was. But you know, so I also have problems with texture, so I have to
That's a bit better, isn't it?
remove all labels from my clothes. I can't have labels in my clothes.
And she always removes labels off bottles.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's not like a texture thing. That's just like a compulsion thing.
Compulsion.
And also, it is like if two people have got the same drink, then it's good to take the label off it, because you know that that's yours and you don't get mixed up with someone else's.
That I agree with.
I mean, why does it bother you so much? So I take the labels off things.
Is that the sticky bottle?
No, I like that. I like adhesive texture.
One thing I like about you as an Aspie is your intelligence.
Yeah. I get very frustrated with you because you aren't as intelligent as me. I'm what they call an intellectual snob, which probably makes me quite unlikable at times. But I try to educate people. That's why I'm going to be a teacher. Well, I mean, I probably won't have time, but well, no, I probably will have time, but I'll find time to be a teacher. I'm also going to do my consultancy business, but whilst we are all stuck at home, I'm going to be doing online. I'm going to be developing an online course, so that when all the businesses and schools return, they will be able to buy my course and
Wait a minute.
and get the now that's Luna in the background, by the way. She's been a bit poorly. She's got the lampshade of shame on her head. Bless her. Yeah, she went to the vet. But anyway, I've lost the thread now. What was I talking about before I saw Luna?
About selling your
Oh yeah, that's right.
business.
Yes. so all of the people that are interested in learning how to better interact with disabled people, and also learn more about spotting the early warning signs of mental illness, they can do. So I'm really excited about that, and I am, yeah, that looks awesome actually. That's exactly what I wanted.
Thank
so
you.
like, you know, just over the ear and then
Yeah.
down. And if you can make that the other side
Yeah.
the same, that would be amazing. So I'm sorry it hasn't been that funny, like, you know, because like things going wrong is funny, but well, I mean, it's funny for you, not for me. But you know, I'll leave you with a joke. I'll tell you a joke whilst while I'm here, considering it hasn't been that funny. So there was a man whose wife was going to have a baby, and he was in the waiting room with all the other fathers, and the nurse came in and said to another man in the waiting room, "Oh, congratulations, Mr. Jones, your wife has just had twins." And he said, "Well, there's a thing. I work for the I work for, what was it? Double
Glazing.
No, not double glazing. Double bubble something, chewing gum or something like that." And then so he goes off to see his babies, and then a couple of minutes later the nurse comes back in and says, "Congratulations, Mr. Smith, your wife has just given birth to triplets." And he said, "Well, there's the thing. I work for the 3M company." And the guy gets up to leave, and the other guy says, "Where are you going?" He said, "I need a breath of fresh air. I work for 7-Up."
Just checking both sides.
Yeah. Well, I'm very prickly
I
now.
know, it's right.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a lame joke, that, and considering I couldn't remember the two, you know, the first bit, but you're doing it so it's down my back.
Sorry.
But I like how short you're going.
Yeah, it's going to look lovely. Have a bit of a ridge, you know. So,
A ridge?
well, you know, sort of make it look more thicker at the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. But yeah, I like. Oh yes, in a future video, very excitingly, Mum and I are going to do a quiz on like, she's going to quiz me on sitcom trivia. So she's going to find some questions on the internet or make some up.
Oh no, I'm not a coffee major.
Sitcoms, and find some questions on sitcoms, and I will attempt to answer them and see how many I get right. Hopefully I should get all of them right, because that is my one of my
I know you did apply to go onto the...
I did apply to go on Mastermind once, but I never heard back. And this could double up as a bottle opener, isn't it?
Right.
Amazing.
Is it looking good?
Yeah. Don't cut the string of my dog tag through.
No. Ooh. Not bad. I'm not a hairdresser.
I can see that.
I know you didn't want me to mention the fact that I was.
Mum, don't. I said no.
I'm not
I said no.
But a lot of me.
Got to expect.
But a lot of
We got to respect each
I
other's
know.
feelings.
Right. But a lot of me.
No! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Well, hairdressers.
Really?
This is good. Sorry, Mummy was taking a lick. No.
Yes.
Just ignore the woman behind the person.
Yeah. Ignore the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
This is looking really good.
Wizard of Oz.
I'm really pleased. Not being a hairdresser, I'm quite happy
Yeah.
that I haven't cut your head off.
Well, yes. Naturally, I'm pretty happy about that as well. But
Just going to check both sides. I know it's that looks okay. Not too bad. So anyone who would like a haircut.
Mum! I see.
Anyone who would like a haircut.
I preempted your when you were going to say it. Mum and Anne, we had a water fight yesterday.
I like it. I'm liking this.
Yeah. Yep, we had a water fight because every day we have to, twice a day we have to bathe Luna's wound with salt water. And the first time Mum did it, she trickled the water over the wound, which was the wrong thing to do because it got, all the fur round it got wet, so it was impossible to dry off, which it needed to be dry before we put the cream on. So I said, don't do that again. In future I will do the salt watering and you will hold her. But yesterday morning she decided, after 3 or 4 days of actually, me doing it perfectly correct, and it was very successful, she decided to go back to her old ways and trickle. And I said, no, I told you not to do that. So we initiated a fight. I mean, it started out innocently enough, I was trickling the water at her, she was trickling the water at me, and then she decided to escalate the situation by chucking a whole bowl of water over me. So I chucked a whole bowl of water over her, and then she sprinkled salt on me, so I sprinkled salt on her. It was literally like in Friday Night Dinner.
Have they done that?
Well, no, actually in Friday Night Dinner they sprinkle the salt in the water.
Yeah.
And then things escalated to a more physical level. But we eventually stopped fighting each other. But in future, because we've had numerous situations where I have said something and as a direct result of Mum not doing what I say, something bad happens. I'll give you 2 examples of this. Number 1, when I was in year 5, we were studying the Tudors for history, and our homework was to visit Chinese Manor, which was is in a manor is a Tudor manor in near Chiltern, and no, not Chiltern. Where's the other place? That Charing Cross, I think.
No,
Was
it's
it-
in London.
Oh no, not Charing Cross. Where was Maddie? Where did Maddie move to?
Oh,
Charwood.
I'll think of it in a minute.
Anyway, Chinese manor, look it up.
Yeah.
And beautiful Tudor home. And as we arrived, Mum was a bit confused as to where to park. And there was an arrow pointing in a thatwardly direction. And I said, well, go that way. And she didn't. She went up and drove into a graveyard. And I said, that is because you didn't listen to me. I said, go that way. And I was right. The second
Well,
example...
nobody was going to complain, were they?
Well, no, but the second... I know, but the church we went in, the church felt very unwelcoming after that. The second example was when it was my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. And we were decorating the house for the occasion. And I don't mean with paint and that, I mean decorating with balloons and banners and things. Anyway, Mum had this gas canister and I said to her, don't blow that balloon up anymore or it'll go bang. And she did, and it went bang. So, and the dog shot a mile backwards in the air. It was hilarious. And Grandad said, what was that noise? And Mum said, nothing, go back to sleep. So, you know, they have been just 2 of the times when Mum hasn't listened to me and it has gone wrong. So, in future, please listen to me.
Okay. Right, put your head back.
I mean, I have trouble with controlling my reactions to Mum not listening to me, and it's something I'm working on, but I mean, that fight was an improvement, funnily enough, because it was more physical on Mum's part than on my part, so that was good, and I didn't self